Isn't she cute? She took over my chair right away this morning. Whoop. I'm just straighten this all out for you now. Try telling this to people with anxiety disorders, and it sounds a little flat and cliche and like you lack comprehension. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Quote of today is not, there's nothing to fear but fear itself, but it goes right along with the quote of today. I'm still all crooked. I can't waste more time worrying unless something surfaces that should legitimately cause fear. We spend a lot of our time, anxiety disorder or not, in our head. Imagining scenarios, big and small, and our default setting, because our brain's default setting is it's a predictive mechanism and its predictions are often incorrect, but it's a predictive mechanism meant to keep us safe and alive. And so we're always on the lookout for danger biologically, neurologically. And so the default setting in these future projections is typically incorporating what obstacles and negative outcomes to be looking for. This can leave us in a state of anxiety from basic things like what to wear to major things like clinical disorders. Everyone has well, I guess you participate, anticipatory anxiety. We are neurologically programmed that way. But the great thing about neurological programming is with great work and intent, you can fight your own natural pathways in your brain and try to build new ones. Worrying accomplishes nothing. Has having anxiety about a problem ever brought you anything but discomforting physiologic sensations, negative emotional sensations? Has it brought you closer to a solution to the problem? Has it brought good ideas into your head about how to solve a problem? And hasn't it proven to be that 80 to 90% of the time, that thing that you were worried about didn't actually come to fruition anyway, and there was really, you were worrying about a ghost, you were worrying about an imagination, you were worrying about something you made up in your head, you're worried about your own imagination. Knowing that our mind has a tendency to project into the future the obstacles we will see, how to deal with that negative boss, how to deal with that negative coworker, how to deal with that stressful interview, how to deal with that physical illness we're going to experience if you have a chronic illness, how we're going to hit that deadline, how we're going to manage the kids, and they've had a bad attitude lately, how we're going to be 12 different places at once, how we're going to handle all the obstacles of tomorrow, or what might be presently occurring that is actually not presently occurring. It's a physiologic response in our bodies from a dysfunctional autonomic nervous system trapped in the fight or flight response. Instead, try to catch those thoughts and instead of thinking of the worst case scenario, that thing to be feared, think of the best case scenario. I bet the kids are going to be in an excellent mood today. I know I've got this. I'm a great mom. I'm a great dad. I love my kids, and I manage them well. Imagine you nailing that interview. Imagine the opposite of that catastrophizing, fearful, anxiety-provoking imagination, because it is all just your imagination. Just my imagination. It's all coming out of your brain. You're imagining worst case scenarios, maybe not total worst case scenarios, but you're imagining bad case scenarios. Pretending to be able to predict the future. And none of us can do that. Catch those thoughts when you be aware of your own thinking. And when you catch yourself doing this, worrying, fearful, ruminating, anxiety, especially about the things that are outside of your control, and even things that are in your control, you can't predict the future. Replace it with the possible, I can't even talk today, I don't know why I'm making a video, best possible case scenario. And it doesn't matter. You may feel, it may feel uncomfortable if you're used to being anxiety provoked. You may feel like you're lying to yourself. If you're no more lying to yourself than when you're telling yourself bad things are going to happen, because you can't predict the future. And 80% of the time, that's not the case. You're just projecting and imagining and focusing there. So instead, focus that the best possible scenario ends up being the case. If you have an anxiety disorder, if you have a dysfunctional autonomic nervous system, if you have the sweaty palms, the panic attacks, palpitations, the shut down digestive tract, the nausea, diarrhea, all the fun stuff that comes with that, do your best to slow down and logic with yourself that you have a condition. It's a panic attack. It typically peaks in 20 minutes. I have survived this before. I will survive it again. It's just my physiology. I am safe. I am well. I am fine. That's what this is. I can do this for 20 minutes. Same with other unpleasant physiologic responses to anxiety. Recognize that it is just that. It is a natural physiologic response to anxiety because your body perceives that you are off in the jungles hunting and gathering and there's a tiger behind you. And so it's prepping you to run. It's shutting down your digestive tract. It's increasing all sorts of stress hormones and increasing your heart rate and your blood flow and shutting down your prefrontal cortex, your thinking part of your brain, so you just in react, fight or flight mode. And it is unpleasant. But it's just a normal physiologic response. And like a panic attack, it too can be endured. Flashbacks, dissociation, all of these things. The major, big, real serious clinical type worry should be addressed with the weight that they're due in real, serious, clinical type settings with professional help. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Certain eating disorders are due to repressing anxiety. If your anxiety is at a level that it is disruptive to your ability to sustain your life, and you believe you may be at a clinical level, you really need a clinical I really can't talk today. Clinical intervention. Something such as trauma therapy, EMDR. The list goes on. But by and large, all of us spend far too much time worrying. We spend a lot of our time sleeping, a lot of our time eating, a lot of our time at our job, a lot of our time washing ourselves or cleaning our house. How many hours of your life have you got? How many spare minutes? How many spare moments get sucked up by sitting on the toilet? I know it's a little crude, but it's true. So many wasted hours in the mundanity of just simply keeping alive. The moments of your life are very, very precious. In order to be serene and present and experience and appreciate the abundance that is around you, the joy that can be within you, you have to stop allowing fear without a real and present danger. Make a conscious promise to yourself. How many hours of your life have you lost to worry that accomplishes nothing but make you feel miserable? Suck your life hours away. Don't let it suck any more time away from your life and joy away from your life. Make a conscious promise to yourself that no more will I worry, ruminate, catastrophize, project worst case scenarios and anticipate all the problems that are going to occur later today, tomorrow, next week, etc. Instead, I will replace them with the most positive possible outcomes and retrain my brain and catch myself in those thoughts and say, I refuse to live this way. This is not real, this is my imagination, and I am in control of my own imagination. I've already wasted enough hours to fear, needless fear and worry. And unless and until a situation is truly, tangibly dangerous, will I allow myself to go there? You will naturally still go there, but you don't have to stay there. Going there is natural, staying there is choice, a skill you can learn. Give yourself your life back. Give yourself the space to grow confidence and a feeling of security and safety in life. Love you guys. Good morning, goodbye. Another long and rambly video where I stammered a whole lot. I can't waste more time worrying unless something surfaces that should legitimately cause fear. Don't let your own mind waste your precious time. There really is nothing to fear but fear itself. Unless there really is something to fear, then yeah, go ahead and be afraid. Run from tigers chasing you. But otherwise, learn coping skills. Love you guys. Good morning, goodbye.